Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4, aka Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, is finally out, and thankfully it is a really good Dragon Ball game. But I have seen people say that this is the best Dragon Ball game ever, which is pretty bold. Dragon Ball fans tend to be a little bit enthusiastic, and as a Dragon Ball fan myself, I can't quite blame them. Dragon Ball is like the only anime that gets consistently good games. It almost feels bad complaining about anything in Sparking Zero because compared to other anime series, Dragon Ball gets so much love. Imagine if One Piece had a game with a roster this size, or if Naruto had an arena fighter with this scale. Oh wait. But that's all to say that while I love Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, it does not come without its flaws. Again, I feel bad complaining about any Dream sequel that people have been wanting for years, but I'm gonna do it anyways. First off, the menus are visually really cool with Goku hopping from one place to another, but this can make for very clunky navigation. It may seem like a nitpick, but you'll be on this menu a ton. This also goes with navigating the menus in the story mode and in the character select screen. Which, by the way, the character select screen is needlessly bloated. We do not need all these different forms of these characters right next to one another. They should have sub-menus for transformations like, I don't know, like in Budokai Tenkaichi? It really blows my mind why this wasn't a thing in this game, but whatever. Next complaint, while I do love the episode battles, which is basically this game's story mode, there are some questionable decisions when it comes to how some of these story cutscenes are animated. You basically get three types of scenes. You get slideshows of events happening, limited animated cutscenes, and then you have these sparking mode cutscenes, which are the more better animated scenes. Now, I understand why there are lower quality animated cutscenes, because let's face it, there is a ton of story to get through, and you have multiple character perspectives, plus you have to factor in the what if scenarios that you can play through, which by the way, are so freaking cool, which is one of the reasons why I wish there were more animated scenes, but oh well, at least we get the cool animated scenes from time to time. Thankfully, if you want a lot of hours of single player content, then Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has you covered. Last big complaint is the amount of stages in the game. Again, I feel bad complaining about a game where you have 180 plus character roster, but there's only 12 stages, with some fan favorites not showing up, which is really strange. Hopefully more stages gets added in the future because stages are more important to arena fighters than most people think. Everyone talks about the characters, which is fair, but I think the stages you play on are just as important. It's just nice to have more variety when it comes to stages. The gameplay is very similar to anyone who has played Budokai Tenkaichi, but for those who are new to the franchise, let me fill you in on the basics. Sparking Zero is a super fast and super kinetic arena fighter that has you fighting as your favorite Dragon Ball characters. The game is not really balanced for the competitive scene. Characters who are strong in the anime are going to be really strong compared to weak characters in this game, and that's just how it is. It's beautiful. There are a total of 180 plus characters to choose from, but they are all equipped with unique animations, voice lines, and special attacks. These special attacks are a treat to the eyes. The game as a whole looks great for the most part. Some characters look a little weird, but in action, they look great. The special effects in particular look so dang good, from the transformations to the powerful attacks. Sparking Zero does a great job at translating the sense of speed and action from the anime series to video game form. It also does a great job at fan service, like being able to create your own episodes and sharing those online. I am not the creative type in this way, but I know that there are people out there that are going to love this feature. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a love letter to fans through and through. It's not a game for people who don't know much about the series, as the story mode would only confuse newcomers more than anything. But there are other Dragon Ball games that are better suited for that. The best part of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero are the choices in the story that can actually change the way the story goes. It's like a little butterfly effect. The smallest decision in one of these scenarios can lead you down a very different path. I love when the story gets super crazy with the what ifs. Don't tell anyone I said this, but I even like some of the what if scenarios more than the original story. Overall, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a game for the Dragon Ball nerds, and thankfully it's a good Dragon Ball game. Is it the best Dragon Ball game ever like some are claiming? I'm not so sure about that. I like the game a lot, but I don't know if it's my favorite yet. I really like playing through story modes in Dragon Ball, and I know that every Dragon Ball game basically has a story mode where you replay through the story of Dragon Ball Z throughout the game. I get that, but I love it. I love playing through the story over and over again. But that's just me, and I know people are, more into the multiplayer side of things. I'm just not really into the multiplayer competitive quote-unquote scene. And while I love the what-if scenarios, branching off to different paths, some of them can be paced a little weird, with a lot of these kind of slideshow still images kind of explaining what's going on. Again, I get why they did that. There's a lot to cover here, but I don't know. With all that said, this game is going to keep growing with 2 sets of DLC planned post-launch, with 20 plus more characters being added to the roster from both Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Daima. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Is it your favorite Dragon Ball game, or are you like me and maybe it's not your favorite Dragon Ball game, but it definitely is a great, fun Dragon Ball game. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. God bless.